Welcome back to another video. My name is Abby, and today we're going to talk about one thing to quickly change your self-image. Now, if you're new to this channel and you want to amplify your self-awareness, go ahead and hit the subscribe with the bell notification so you don't miss anything. Now, what is this thing that's going to quickly change your self-concept, your self-image? The simplicity of it all is to do something outside of your self-image. That sounds really great. That sounds magical, Abby. Yes, it really is. When you realize that your limitations are that you have this concept, this box, a circle, triangle, whatever shape it is, and you have this idea of who you are, what you're capable of, and what the world is, that is how you will live. That is how you will see the world. So if you do something that's outside of that realm, you have the ability to then expand your idea of yourself. And then you'll be able to experience different things, see different things, and therefore you will have an entirely new perspective of life. Because again, whatever is inside of you is going to be reflected in your reality. Whatever it is your consciousness level is what you will manifest, what you will see in the world, what you experience. So for instance, one of the first times I ever tried this was reading a book, and the person said to go into a coffee shop and to ask for 20% off. Well, this is a really simple and kind of bizarre thing to do, I thought. I was really interested in it because it felt scary, it felt uncomfortable. And you know right now that inside your self-image, this is where you're comfortable. You see yourself being maybe a good person, maybe a person who goes to work every day, 9 to 5, maybe a person who has a consistent relationship. In your self-concept, it's somebody who has a hard time getting a job, who never can quite find that right person. Whatever it is, that is inside your box. We all have different ideas of ourselves, how the world works based on our experience. And we literally act according to those guiding lines, right? That set of instructions on, okay, this is your script. This is how you can act in the world. Oh, okay, here I go. And that's why you see some people who maybe they're really overweight, or maybe they really struggled with a lot of scarcity and poverty. And then all of a sudden, you see this with celebrities. They grew up maybe living out of a car, and now they're living in this $5 million mansion overlooking the ocean. It's like, how did that happen? Well, basically they continually evolved who they saw themselves to be, started acting differently in the world. That fed into a changed sense of image. Their self-image changed, and then they're able to continue on and expand it. So going back to that example, this idea, you go into a coffee shop and you ask for 20% off. Why? Just because. And so I actually embraced this, and I went into a coffee shop, ordered my drink, and it was as if like I was on a, one of those reality shows where, the intense music is playing and people are watching. It's like, what's going to happen? Now, granted, you zoom out and it's me just talking to this person, totally normal, nothing weird, nothing stressful. But I had that perception. And so I asked, and they said, well, why? And I said, I'm just asking. And they said, okay. And there you go, 20% off of this coffee, which at that time, I didn't see myself as someone going and negotiating. I didn't think that I was good. I didn't think that I could have those interactions in positively for me. I thought anytime I asked for something, this was in my image. If I asked for something, I was gonna be told no. That in the deepest of my psyche was, I can't have what I want. And so in the world, when I go through the world, that is what I find, because it comes from in me and it is reflected back in the world. So when I went outside of my normal box and I asked this question, I got myself in this situation and they said yes, it really was like, wow, look at that. Like, I never would have thought that they would have said yes. Now I'm the person asking, and if I can negotiate a cup of coffee, which is, I thought that was set and they could never do that, what else could I do? So then that will continually evolve. So today, what I'm asking you to do is think of one thing that you don't think you're capable of, or maybe you don't see yourself as somebody who goes for a walk. Maybe you don't see yourself as somebody who takes a midday nap. I've known people who thought they were lazy if they took a nap. Even if they were tired, they wouldn't take a nap because they thought they would be lazy. Now, if that's your case, take a nap. Yes, like I said, these could be positive things and these could be, not so positives. But that will literally start changing the way you see yourself. you do this thing, it's like, oh, that actually was beneficial to me. Why have I been acting this way? Why have I been telling myself that that is a negative thing? So whatever it is in your life right now, whether it be asking a person out, maybe you have a crush on somebody, maybe you see somebody is out of your league, and you just boldly, you say, okay, you know what? I'm the kind of person who ask people out. If I like somebody and I find value in them and I enjoy being around them, I'm going to see if they want to go spend more time together. That's the kind of person I am. And even just for one day, one moment, you pretend, you feel yourself, and then you follow through with those actions, you're going to expand, even if temporarily, you're going to expand that image, that experience you have of yourself. And you're going to have new neurological firing, and whatever fires together, wires together. And really what is happening right now of why you are in this box, it has to do with all your childhood experiences, what people told you was possible, and your adult experiences have fortified these neurological pathways. The more you think them, the more you act in that circle, the more they're fortified. So just like lifting weights, maybe in your past, you've lifted weights, right? You get real strong, or maybe you're a runner, whatever you've done where you did it more and more and more and you got better and you got stronger. Well, when you stop doing it, that goes away, right? It's atrophy. So the same thing will happen with those neurological pathways. When you stop living in that little box and start expanding that box by doing things outside of that box, you will start building the new neurological pathways that will support that bigger box to be sustained. And really that's a fancy way to say it is your cybernetic mechanism. It's your thermostat. It is your boundary of who you can be in the world. Now, granted, to go from the small box to the ultimate box, it's going to be a series of different expansions. So don't feel right now that to change your self-image, it's going to go from where you are now to this ideal version. That's going to be a sequence of steps, and realize that it can start small. Go into a coffee shop and ask them for something, or maybe it's asking somebody out. Maybe it is asking for a raise. Maybe it is asking for something for, if you're buying something and they're going to add something on. Whatever it is in life that you feel is not who you are, try that thing. See what it feels like. Realize then, after you step through on that other side of the box, because, in here saying, oh, I can't have those things. Those things aren't for me. As I told you earlier in my example, I can't have the things I want. Starting to smash that idea, that belief, and breaking it down, and really seeing that, oh, my idea that I was limited is really my only limitation. How many other ways am I blocking myself simply by believing that I have to stay in here? And this simple illustration of an ant. The person draws a circle, and that ant feels like its limitation is that circle. And the smaller the circle, the ant's limitation, and it only is active in that circle. So think about how your thoughts right now, how you see yourself, how small is your self-image? It can be amplified, it can be increased and expanded. Your life will correspondingly change and expand. Your ability to see opportunities and other possibilities of expansion will be there. The first thing you have to do today is to try something new, something that you do not identify in your self-image in that small box, and see how that changes. Go ahead and comment below the things that you try and your experiences, and I look forward to seeing them. I really hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please hit like. It helps spread this message, and I will see you on the next one.